a story about a Kevin who couldn't get his keys into the right slot. I work as a low-voltage electrician, which means I pull wires for cameras, security, and internet. I was working on a pretty big job site, so we needed constant communication on our walkie-talkies as to not waste time. The day that this story takes place, Kevin was in charge of feeding a wire into a pipe in the ground. There are 8 of these 4-inch wide pipes in the floor that go down about 10 feet before turning and heading off to their respective locations. Kevin was given assistance with putting the giant spool of wire onto the holder and was told to slowly pull the wire off the spool. He was doing okay during the time I was working next to him, so I left him to feed the wire and went to the other end to begin pulling a pull string attached to it. For reference, this pipe is over 800 feet long and is buried underground. After about 5 minutes of pulling, I get a crackle on the walkie-talkie and Kevin's voice comes through, asking for me to come back to the start. I head over and he proceeds to tell me that while he was feeding the wire, he dropped his brand new vape into one of the empty pipes. He asked how we can get it back, and I told him that it would be impossible since the pipes are all sealed and buried underground. He didn't like that answer but understood. Or so I thought. I hadn't even made it back to my spot before he calls me through the walkie-talkie again. He states that while waiting for me, he had now dropped his car keys down a different pipe and he desperately needed them. I head back and we get the keys hooked with a magnet and 10 of these 6-foot flexible sticks. Once he can see the keys, he tries to jerk them up out of the pipe and into his hand. He missed his hand, the keys dropped and went back down another pipe. I could have strangled this Kevin, since it took us about an hour to get the keys the first time. We used the same system to get the keys again, and I told him everything on his person needed to be put into the work van until the end of the day. Kevin no longer works with my company, that's another story, and I couldn't be happier. Last I heard, he was moving somewhere to become a high-voltage electrician.